Hi, thanks for tuning in. Today I want to share some travel tips for traveling with your luxury items or basically your closet items. And I wanted to share some tried and true tips that I use when I travel. It's late at night. I just finished work and I actually need to pack for a little trip that I'm taking out to Chicago, which is really exciting. But now that moment has settled where I realized the daunting task of having to pack all my things. But I also wanted to make sure I could film some of it so that I can share those tips with you guys and then also share how those things work out while I'm actually traveling. If you're tuning in for the first time, hi, I'm Katie. I like to do these luxury fashion videos here on YouTube. I share hauls and reviews, but at the end of the day, I share my journey so we can all mindfully curate our own collections. So if you like what you're seeing, please subscribe to my channel, like this video, and leave a comment down below with any travel tips that you have. All of your support really means a lot to me. I also probably look like death. I really apologize for that. I still try to put myself together for my videos, but it is actually really late at night and I really have to get on packing. So I figured this might seem a little bit like a more casual video than my typical sit down videos that happen on that couch right there. But I hope you can understand that. And maybe it's more fun that way. I don't know, you guys let me know. My first tip for traveling with all of your luxury items is to definitely create a list of either outfits that you know you want to wear or things that you know you want to take with yourself. I'm a list writer, I'm a jot downer, I'm a write everything in a notebook person. I have a notebook for everything kind of person. So maybe that's why it's something that I feel like works really well for me. I really think it's helpful to write out all of the things because A, it means you're less likely to forget something because you started thinking about things beforehand. B, it also reduces the burden of having to figure out what I'm going to wear once I'm at whatever location, like whatever place I'm at, right? And I like that because I don't want to be spending so much time trying to figure out what the heck I'm going to wear once I'm there. Like, it's so much easier if I have pretty much predetermined outfits, right? And can just pull those out and wear them for the day. Understanding that sometimes things will change, the weather might change unexpectedly, and so you want to be able to pack with enough flexibility to accommodate for that. But at least you know you have a pretty good starting point where you know how your outfits are going to come together. Also, that helps me identify whether there are certain items that I feel like are only going to be worn for like one outfit or like, it's only a single purpose. This is more like a weekend trip, so it's only going to be a carry-on suitcase and my personal bag, like personal carry-on item. And I am not checking any luggage. I know there are people, especially like luxury fashion influencer folks, who will probably travel with like 5 or 6 suitcases even if they're away for like 4 days, but that's not very realistic for me, at least. I just think it makes it so much more streamlined once you're there because you know what you're going to wear and you know everything is going to work and match and mix and match, so that's why my number one tip is to write a list. Write your outfits out. I actually think I've done a packing or travel related video in the past, so I will link that up above. I'm pretty sure it's probably a couple years old now because I realized I haven't been on an airplane for like a couple years now. My next tip is definitely around your luxury items. This particular trip of mine is only with a carry-on, so it doesn't matter as much. But if you are on a trip where you will be checking in your luggage, then absolutely do not check your handbags, Shoes, sometimes I'll still put in my checked luggage only because they take so much room, but basically I pack my carry-on suitcase with all of my like high-end designer items, and I carry that on the aircraft with me. I really do not check any of my bags, any of my accessories, anything like that in my checked luggage. And that's because you've heard of horror stories of like the TSA agents like looking in bags and stuff like that. Actually, I didn't have it, my mom did. My mom definitely had an incident where her suitcase was definitely opened, and she had like an extra crossbody bag in there, and that was definitely like rummaged through. I guess someone maybe thought there might be some cash in there or something. So I definitely don't recommend that you ever really check any of your really luxury items in your checked baggage. I mean, I think sometimes my clothes might go into my larger bag, but for the most part, as much as I can, I do try to pack everything in my carry-on suitcase. My next tip is around traveling with your kind of skincare bits or toiletries. I know this isn't as like luxury related. We all know that we need to carry or bring smaller sizes with us. So there are actually two things that I do. On shorter weekend trips like this one, I will bring a lot of those little sample packets, you know, the little sachets that you usually get when you buy makeup or skincare, like, you know, you'll get those little sample packets. So usually I'll bring a lot of those with me so that I can use them while I'm there and then pretty much not have to bring them back with me. They also take up a lot less room in your suitcase, so your toiletries bag doesn't have to be like this big. For items that you do need to still take with you, like for me, for instance, I know it's really high maintenance, but because my hair is colored, I do have color conditioner that I need to take with me because it's to help with the longevity of my hair color. And so I do need to like portion that out and bring that with me. And I know a lot of like pharmacies, drugstores, Target, Walmart, those places will sell those little like travel approved containers. I tend to find that they're really crappy, to be honest. A lot of times they'll leak. A lot of times they won't, like, it's like a spray bottle and this stuff doesn't work. It's not my favorite to go there. Also, I feel like the shapes are always like so really inconvenient. So my other tip is to check out like those little like food containers. Granted, like I don't recommend you use them for food after you put your skincare or other things in there, but I recently found this at like Home Goods or something like that, and it's like a little condiments container set. And these are all like just in plastic with a lid on them. And I feel like these are like a good shape and good size for more of your like skincare items. So just check the size of the containers to make sure that you can travel on board with them. My next tip is around actually packing some of your items. So a lot of the times, if it's going to be a sweater or a ready-to-wear piece that might be a little bit delicate, I tend to put it in some sort of dust bag. It might not be the original garment bag that it comes in, because sometimes those garment bags are really big and bulky and take up a lot of space in your suitcase. But if I do have like a dust bag from a handbag, or maybe even from another brand, but I have an extra bit, then I like to put the clothing in the dust bag and in my suitcase so that there is nothing else that can really rub against it or do something funky to it. When it comes to shoes, I will always pack them in their dust bag, but I will also make sure that there's some sort of, you know, like tissue paper, like puff kind of thing that's inside the shoe itself. If you're really low on space, you can definitely stuff them with your socks and things like that. I've done that before. That way you can ensure that your shoes won't really get super crushed in your suitcase. You know how you have your roller suitcase as a carry-on, and then you can have like your personal item that's like your bag. So usually I'll put my handbags in there if I can, and then I like to nest my handbags. So there's like a bigger one, and inside there's a smaller bag, and inside that is a smaller bag. It depends on the bags that I'm trying to take and whether or not they all fit nicely well together, I do try to like think about and focus on the bags that I know will kind of fit well together. I'll try to show you once I actually get that stuff packed later tonight. Basically what I focus on the most when I'm packing, and this is like the ultimate guiding principle when it comes to packing my suitcase, is I try to pack so that everything has a place, but also so that nothing moves, if that makes sense. Because the more things rattle and the more space they have to move, I feel like the more likely something can happen to them. So I try to pack things like in between and in little crevices. I think those are all of my top tips. If I think of anything else while I'm actually packing, then I will try to mention those as well. But otherwise, then I hope you enjoy the rest of the video where I share more of my travels.